Okay, I figured out my key to success. Now I'm locked in. I learned how to open doors like a locksmith.
Welcome back. You're now locked in with DK and Atwood. I'm Atwood, the killer to my left. DK, back this week.
Seems like forever.
Yeah, dude, I was thinking that before we started. It seems like forever since we've shot a podcast. And I mean, I shot one last week. Obviously, it was with Ethan, but without you here, it's just weird.
Dude, it's like seems like something's missing. I'm like,
yeah.
Let me check the cameras. You know, I'm like, let me check on them doing the podcast.
It was a good episode, though. I feel like it was educational for people.
I gotta go back and watch it.
It was it was a good episode.
Mississippi, so it was, man, we drove down to Florida, dropped our dog off to get trained for 4 weeks. We have a Belgian Malinois, so if you guys know anything about fur missiles, that's what we got. And yeah, dude, she's 100 miles an hour nonstop, and so she has a little dog aggression. You know, we can't take her on walks in our little neighborhood. These little dogs walk around everywhere. She wants to kill them. You know, so we're trying to like get her squared away. She's a good dog, you know, but I mean, she will like get you, you know, if she has to.
Right. Yeah, so you got a fur missile. I currently have a shit missile at my house. Dude, he's
shitting up a storm.
Oh my God. It's not, so he ended up having a UTI. But the first day I woke up, I mean, because my dog, whenever he shits, he walks while he shits. So when he has diarrhea, it is, thank God I got hardwood floors. But it was everywhere, dude. And
everybody had carpet. Everybody had carpet.
Dude, well, I used to have carpet. So whenever he would do that, it was like, it was a 2-hour cleanup. The first time that morning, it was like a 45-minute cleanup. But then it happened for like 2 days. And so finally I'm like, all right, I got to take him in. Wow. And then I noticed some blood in it. So that's when I started to get worried. But yeah, he has a UTI. He's doing a lot better now, but he's shitting up a storm. So before we jump into everything, let's talk about New Breed. You went up to New Breed this past weekend. What all happened?
We had, it was New Breed Charlotte, so their New Year thing. You know, we had 7 kids and that we took from the academy, and then we had like 5 adults. And you know, our kids had some lessons. We had 2 brand new people that had never competed before. They competed. We had one, he placed gold, you know, as a kid anyways. And then we had a female that she's been doing jiu-jitsu for a while but never competed. Her brothers competed, but she's never competed. And her parents, by the way, told her, said, hey, you know, they got 4 kids total. It's like, you're training jiu-jitsu for 5 years, minimum. 5 years. So they're coming up on that 5-year mark. And the whole time, she's the oldest in the family. And she just like, it kind of seems like she's not into it. She's just there because, you know,
she has to be.
She's a knight. You know, you can't, she doesn't roll her eyes. She doesn't act, you know, but you can just tell, you know, it's not the funnest thing for her.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but she's going to compete, man. And you know, there's some athletic little girls out there, man, that have been doing. So for her first tournament, you know, she didn't win, but like she showed a lot of heart. You know, girls can pass her guard really, you know. And I was like, you got to have these little small wins to kind of help you along the way. And you know, so, and then our adults, we had you know, one guy that helps us with our kids class, Corey. Yeah, he did amazing. Had 6 matches in the intermediate and blue belt division, I believe it is, you know, so, you know, same experience level. And out of 6 matches, so first he had no-gi for his first 3 matches, won every one by submission.
Nice.
And then he had 3 matches in the gi later on, and my man was like, you know, after he won gold in no gi, right, he was like, I'm done. I'm not, you know. I said, dude, you know what's better than, you know, winning a gold medal, right?
Winning 2.
Winning 2 of them. Come on, man. We got to get this. Let's get this, dude. You're already in it.
Yeah.
Do you some breath work, bro. Get your shit back together and go out here. man, goes out there and then, submits. I think the first guy won by decision or by, points.
Mm-hmm.
Second guy won by submission. And then the third guy had him in a triangle. And at the end, and the guy picked him up and kind of put him out under the table, under the ref's table.
Mm.
And so they DQ'd the guy. But, I mean, he wasn't getting out, man.
Yeah.
It was a tight triangle. The same dude, he caught him in the first round with that triangle that's on his Instagram.
Okay, yeah, so I saw that. That dude was pissed when he got up after. Yeah, you could see he tapped the mat.
15 seconds left, bro.
Ooh.
15 seconds. He was up 4-0.
It was a cool little transition, though, because it looked like he was trying to fish for, like, a Kimura, and then the dude rolled, and then maybe, like, an armbar, and then he just switched it to...
Corey's been around a while in the academy, and so he understands my lingo. I'm sitting there talking to him. I'm talking, when we do the Kimura month, right, we have a move called the El Gato, and only if you've done our Kimura months, if you'll know what that is. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I can say what it is, out. And dude hit it. I was like, El Gato. And he was like, boom, goes right into it. And the other kid had no answer for it. Turned it into some other stuff, It was really neat to see his progression because, he's 0-2 as an amateur MMA fighter as well. Lost his first match by submission, got really quick, got caught. And I didn't really think, he was too ready, but he really wanted it, so we tried out. And then his second match, he had a really good fight, barn burner fight, and Rock Hill on the same card as, I think, Austin fought. Or no, not Austin. Somebody else, maybe Josh. Yeah, can't remember. But anyways, had a barn burner fight with the guy, and just ended up coming up short at the very end. It was the guy from Modern Warrior, where Keith Richardson trains.
Oh, okay. So, Rock Hill. I should have. Yeah.
He's the what? 35
BKFC
champ.
Oh,
BKFC champ. 35 or 45?
No, might be 45. Yeah, I think it's 45.
Okay.
Or it might be 50.
No, he's 45er.
Is he? Okay.
Might even be 35. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, me either. But that's good, man. I also saw, I don't know his real name, but the big Russian guy, I think everybody just calls him Teddy.
Yeah, dude.
So I was talking to him last week, and he was, obviously he's nervous. I was like, dude, you'll do fine. Like, and did he get gold?
He got a gold in white belt. Tapped all three dudes with arm
Sick,
bars.
man. Yeah. Sick.
But it was really cool. I saw a lot. It was a packed event, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we got some dudes that had their first tournament. We had one guy, that Ethan kid. He's only 20 years old, man.
Mm-hmm.
And, his first tournament, he's only been training for 6 months. So we're trying to, get more people to compete. Ethan's competing this weekend in the 16-man. $3,000 tournament that you guys talked about. He's got a really good first match that
we were talking
really
about that
good
today. I was like, dude, you better.
He's got a really good bracket, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. A really good opportunity. So it's really awesome to see.
Yeah.
And see, and then we got 5 guys doing Toro Cup from the academy.
They were telling me about that March 3rd,
second. Yep. And then March 1st, we have
Atlantic City, right?
Atlantic City with Austin Coleman.
And then this weekend, too.
This weekend.
There's so much shit going on, bro. So much. So many people competing.
Too. So Ethan competes tonight, and about 45 minutes away from Ethan, Josh and Britton are going to be fighting at the Grady Cole Center, site of UFC 4.
Man.
And I fought there once.
Did you?
Yeah, tapped out a dude.
Nice.
Armbar. No big deal.
Yeah, a lot of things going on. And speaking of UFC, while we have this segue, let's just go ahead and jump into 97 that went down this past weekend as well. Before we get to the main event, because obviously that's like the hot talk, I want to talk about Neil Magny, bro. Like, a lot of people sleep on that dude.
He's good, bro.
Dude, he's been around for a long time, and Dana said it best.
man.
Like, that dude is the ultimate spoiler. So I don't know if you pronounce his name Malott or Malloy, but he was, the big prospect in Canada. Fought Neil, and Neil gave him the business, man. And the dude was a BJJ black belt, but you would have never thought watching Neil.
I've heard stories about Neil Magny. I want to say that guy's a veteran. He's a veteran.
Oh, he's been around a while, dude.
No, I mean like a military veteran.
Oh, yeah. No, he is.
Sure.
He is. He was talking about that in the press conference, too.
Yeah.
He is. So veteran in both those respects, man. That guy is
he's been around for a long
beast.
time. He fought a good friend of mine. I say a good friend, man. We haven't talked in so long. But Philip Rowe, who's
we actually talked about him not too long ago on the pod.
Yeah, he's in the UFC, and him and Phil fought, and that's all. I think Phil's only loss in the UFC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's by decision, close decision, man. They're
Neil's
both
a
long.
monster.
They're both very similar styles,
Yep.
man. And now Phil, last time I rolled with Phil, I think he was a purple belt. Now he's a black belt, and in obviously the best organization in the world, he trains with some of the best guys in the world as far as it comes to jiu-jitsu. Rodolfo Vieira is a really good friend. He trains with Lyoto Machida, like Lyoto Machida. He's in the Orlando area. I mean, it's just really cool to see. That's at Fusion Excel in Orlando. Yeah, so it's a really good spot, man.
And they're tall. I saw Neil at XMMA in Colombia, and, dude, he had to have been – I mean, I'm not a very tall guy, but he had to have been like 6'3", maybe 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, and Phil Rose.
And to me, that's a giant.
Dude, and Phil's got a 82-inch reach.
Yeah,
like,
crazy,
come on,
dude.
At 170 pounds, bro. Mine was 69. Just to put that into perspective, my reach was 69 at 170. I couldn't imagine fighting a guy at 82-inch reach.
Right.
I'm
69 at
sure
155 is probably pretty good, though.
Average,
Is it average?
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
You get guys that are.
I wonder what my wingspan is.
I mean, so MMA it's fingertip,
right?
So,
yeah, to the middle finger, right?
Yeah.
But then obviously the Sean Strickland Duplessis. I did think Duplessis would win. I wasn't sure like how it would go, but close fight, dude.
Yeah, ugly and close.
Yeah, it was. I mean, still entertaining.
It was entertaining.
Yeah.
Yes, it was entertaining.
Because usually when you hear,
there was no really good technique.
Oh yeah. Oh, especially that third round. It was great to watch, though.
Flinging the right hand.
Yeah. Dude. So, in your opinion, do you agree with the decision that was made? Now, neither one of us has watched the full fight. We've just seen highlights because we didn't pay for it.
Let's take it. All right, striking. They were, now that the score or the strikes at the head and all that stuff, all those numbers have come out, right? Like, you can be like, oh, wow, he did land more. Mm-hmm. But in the fight, the actual fight, you take somebody that's doing that very similar stuff, right? So you're pretty close on the striking, and who knows which round, right? If you go to a breakdown, I don't know the numbers right off the top of my head, obviously.
Right.
But if you take that and then, all right, who did the more grappling?
The more grappling?
Yeah, Duplessis.
Yeah.
Yes. So he had some takedowns. Even though Sean Strickland was able to get back up, that was still progressing the fight, right? Like, you're striking, well, I'm progressing now into grappling, and then I'm doing other things.
Right.
Outside of just staying on my feet, which is it's an MMA fight. And so and we talked about it before about scoring. Yes, strikes get you a lot of points. Sean Strickland was kind of bleeding. He's busted up.
Yeah.
So, it's a damage. That's part of damage.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's what it all really comes down to, right? It's the effective striking and effective grappling that leads to the most damage. So whenever they put up the strikes, right, and people are like, oh, well, Sean landed 30 more strikes. It's like, okay.
Did you see the leg kicks?
No, I didn't.
Leg kicks, Duplessis.
How many did he land?
I don't know, but it was
a lot?
A lot.
But with, say Strickland lands 180 strikes, right? And then, or head strikes, and Duplessis lands 120. It's like, yes, obviously he landed a lot more, but it's the quality of the strikes, right? Because that's what ultimately leads to the damage.
Yeah,
Now, I'm not saying I didn't watch the entire fight, so I couldn't go back and say, oh, Strickland won or that was the right call. But, obviously a lot of people online were screaming robbery on that one.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't know, man. From the highlights I saw, it looked cool. It looked like a competitive fight. It looked like a close fight. And it was whenever it was split down the middle like that.
It's wild, man. Like, you look at the UFC stats and significant strikes. Sean Strickland landed 173 to 408. So, and then Duplessis landed 137 of 354. So he wasn't throwing as much volume, so therefore he was not going to get as much off of it.
Right.
So those numbers are kind of similar. Total strikes, Strickland's at 183 of 419. And then you go Duplessis, 140 of 358. So, and 6 of 11 for takedowns.
Now,
And
I wonder
Strickland had 0 of 0.
So in any of those takedowns, was Duplessis able to keep him on the ground and apply any damage?
No, not so much. He was getting it up, but he was still butts on the ground. It's a takedown. So listen to this: significant strikes to the legs. Strickland went 6 for 6. Duplessis was 24 of 34. Body kicks. Strickland was 10 for 15. Duplessis was 32 for 37.
So things start to even out a little bit when you add in the kicks, huh?
Yeah, because the head, right? Strickland landed 157 of 387. So again, remember his total strikes was 408. So it's like he didn't throw that many kicks.
Yeah.
Duplessis landed 81 of 283.
And one more thing just to touch back on the takedowns is if the takedowns don't lead to damage, and again, it could just depend on the judge.
Yeah, but if
they might not consider that effective grappling.
For sure.
If he gets right back up.
Yeah. Strickland did get up right back up a couple times.
So, but then again, like Duplessis still won on 2 of the judges' scorecards. So, who knows, man? That's probably one, honestly, that they might. I don't think that they'll run it back immediately, even though those two have been yapping at each other online.
Yeah.
I think that they'll give it to
now. Yeah, they want that big money.
Oh yeah, they'll give it to Izzy.
Yeah,
they'll do Duplessis and Izzy.
Big money, man, right there, because you're gonna have all of Africans on that one.
Oh yeah.
If they don't do it in Africa, in South Africa, or something like that,
I think that'd be the perfect one to open up in South Africa.
Who knows, man?
Imagine doing it in Egypt.
Right.
That would be nuts, dude. Also, did you see the new signing for the UFC?
No.
Kayla Harrison signed.
Kayla Harrison.
You don't know?
No.
Okay, so she was in PFL, big girl. I mean, big girl, just fucking everybody up.
Dude,
and they gave her Holly
I
Holm
missed her.
at UFC 300.
Oh, man.
I mean, you look at Kayla Harrison. I mean, this woman.
It's probably Holly Holm, what she used to be. So, but Holly, man, why is she fighting, dude?
Don't know, man.
But, dude, look at
Payday.
Raquel Pennington this weekend.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
She's like, she was on the Ultimate Fighter when the first season they had the women's thing.
Yep.
And her record was like almost upside down.
Yep.
And maybe it was back then. And now look at her.
And she wants Juliana Pena.
Oh, Pena.
I think they were both in the same episode or the same season.
And Pena won.
Yeah.
And Pena, I think, beat her.
Mm-hmm.
Beat her.
Fucking.
But I think she was just like getting by, I think.
Right. Well, so Kayla Harrison normally fights at 145. The UFC obviously doesn't have that weight class. Yeah. Or is it 135? Can't remember, but she's going down to 135.
Yeah, I don't have 145.
No. But then apparently Amanda Nunes said that she's coming back. So
yeah,
it's like, bitch, you just retired. They've had one fight in your weight class since, and now you want to come back.
Because
it's attention. Well, right. But it's like,
She's like, oh, I can beat her.
it's attention, man.
It is.
She retired for attention.
I trained with Amanda Nunez
have you?
a long time ago, man.
Really?
Yeah. She couldn't speak any English. She was a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. Trained with her. I did jiu-jitsu, MMA with her. Yeah, man.
Yeah. She hit hard.
I mean, dude, I was like sparring Jim Miller, Dan Miller as well at that same time. Like, she wasn't hitting hard as them.
Well, obviously, yeah.
But she was jacked, man.
Yeah.
She was Jack City, but yeah. So I did some MMA rounds with her and did some stand-up rounds with her. She had a headgear on just because she was a Strike Force she was the Strike Force champ at that time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. That's going to make for some interesting shit because, Raquel fights Juliana. I think Juliana beats her. And then Juliana has the belt again. And then are we going to see Juliana and Amanda Nunes for the third time?
Man, I don't know, dude.
And then let's see what happens with Kayla Harrison. Because I'm telling you, man, that woman is a monster, dude.
Yeah, let's see it, man, though.
She's a monster. I'm going to show you what she looks like.
If it when you get on the big screen and everybody's got your name now.
Well, true, but I mean, I can't believe you've never heard of Kayla Harrison, dude.
Yeah. You know what? I probably have, bro, but I don't know anybody's names these days.
I'm sure you've seen her. Look at this chick, dude. She's an Olympian.
Yeah. I know who that is, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was
She was killing it in the PFL. Yeah, and I think she was an Olympian.
Yeah, she was Olympian
judo
and world champion in judo. Yep. I know about this chick.
Yeah, and I like Holly Holm, but like one, it's like you said, why is she still fighting? Two, I think Kayla Harrison's good. But Holly Holm has upset people plenty of times.
Dude, this girl, she looks like she gets a hold to you, man.
Right?
She's got some kids too.
She's got what?
She got kids.
Yeah.
That's wild. What?
It's just funny how you said that.
It doesn't look like she has kids, man. It really doesn't. It doesn't. She's too jacked to have. Look, man, she is jacked.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. She's like Rob, dude. She's just as big as Rob, bro.
But she's crushing chicks, man.
Yeah, she is, and so that's going to be interesting. They added that to UFC 300. I don't think they've even released the main event for that yet. So we're all still kind of just twiddling our thumbs, waiting on that one. But yeah, also Jim Miller is fighting again on UFC 300. That's probably going to be his last one, I would assume.
Has to be.
And it's going to be against Bobby Green, which, man, I really like that fight.
Yeah, I like that fight too. That's not too bad for either one of the guys.
Right now, if you would have told me that a couple months ago before Bobby fought
right.
Jalen Turner, I'd have been like, damn, I don't know about that. But
I still think, Jim Miller's a stud.
Oh, yeah. Man, how many records does he hold?
Maybe all of them.
Yeah. Well, I know he's got the most fights for sure. Or is it most knockouts? Or most finishes? I think it's most finishes.
I don't know, man. Like, I drove all the way up from Alabama when this dude was at, like...
He's out of Jersey, right?
On the scene. I mean, he had been fighting in the UFC for probably 10 to 12 fights at that point in time. I drove from Alabama. Maybe less than that. Anyways, I drove from Alabama all the way up to Jersey and stayed in a hotel, lived in a hotel for a week.
Yeah, that guy's nasty.
Dude, I trained with the pro team. So I trained with Jim Miller, his brother Dan, who was a stud back then. Charlie Brenneman was there. There's this kid now. His name's Sean Santella. He was a little guy. He was 125 or still is, but he's been trying to get in the UFC for a long time, man. He's got a ton of fights. So he's got over 30-something fights, man. So he was there back then. Man, a lot of cool dudes, man, that I met back then. It's just so hard to think about.
Yeah.
Nunez came there, and then Rafael Oliveira, who was fighting, he was down at Holmes-Hausen and Charleston. Yeah.
That's where you went to do your seminar, right?
Yep. Did the seminar.
Nice. Oh, by the way, I don't know if we've reached it yet, but I think we might be, by the time this comes out, we might be at 500.
Might be.
Which means we're at 495 right now.
Right now, we need 5 more.
So we haven't decided what we're going to do for the giveaway. We'll probably just do like some merch or something. It's like a hoodie or something.
I got some stuff coming where I'm working on some cool stuff right now.
Cool.
I'm working on some long sleeves.
Oh, I wanted to mention this to you. I mean, I guess I can mention it off camera. It doesn't matter. But I think I'm going to get a sublimation printer and a heat press. And I'm just going to start doing, that way when we start doing merch, there's no middleman. Just buy the shit, find something we like, and just do it at home. Yeah, we'll just do it at home. So
a heat press, dude, you got to figure out how to do logos on people's gis.
Yeah, well,
because they make.
I'm pretty sure.
Have you ever seen those?
Yeah, well, that's the heat press. That's what
I'll.
I'll
Just got to make sure it doesn't like come off too easy.
Oh yeah, so the sublimation
because
printer that I'm getting.
Yes.
You have to use special ink, and you're supposed to only like really print it on things that are like 65% or more polyester.
Yeah. So
but with the heat press, you can do it with anything.
Yeah.
But so what are rash guards you could do it with, right?
Sublimation.
Yeah.
Yes. And
So
you can
I'll
do
be able
shorts.
to. Yeah. Anything that's and if it's say it's cotton, you can buy a spray and spray it on there first, and then you can sublimate onto it. But I think I'm gonna get that. And kind of just be like a little side hustle, and then whenever, like I said, we want to do things, I'll just be able to do it at home. I can get like a hat press, do hats or whatever. But in any case, we're only a couple subs away from the 500. Then we'll figure out something to do for a little giveaway. Whenever we hit 500, we haven't hit it yet at the time of this episode, but whenever we do, we might do something a little easier and just have you comment. And then we'll go through the comments and pick somebody, because whenever I tried to go through the subs last time and do that automated, dude, it was a pain in the ass. I'd had to go page by page, and back then we only had 250. So now I'd have to go page by page, randomly pick one, and then put those into like a hat basically, and then do that. Yeah. So we'll see who really watches, and we'll just do probably like a comment section or something, and do it there, make it easy. But yeah, I got a radio event that I got to do tonight, so I don't know how long we've gone, but let's wrap it.
Let's wrap it up, B. Wrap it up, B. Remember that movie?
No.
Half-Baked?
Oh yeah, but I don't remember that part.
He's like on the stand or whatever. You know, he's like interview him on the judge's stand. Or whatever.
Oh yeah. You're talking about the Hispanic dude, right? Yeah. The dude that does it. You're cool. Fuck you.
Yeah. Oh man. Anyways, thank you guys for listening to our kind of shenanigans going on, and we appreciate you. Please like, comment, or subscribe. We need those subscriptions so we can start giving some more giveaways for you guys. Anyways, thank you so much. Again, like, comment, share, and appreciate you guys watching.
Yes, sir. Next Monday, we'll be dropping another embedded episode. That'll be with Ethan, who we had on the last podcast. He's competing in a tournament this weekend for $3,000. So hopefully, he can go out there and put on a clinic, and it'll make for some good content to put in that embedded episode. But that will drop Monday at 5. Hopefully. Well, hopefully that's the goal. Monday at 5. If not, then it'll be soon after that. But I'll keep everybody updated on our Instagram at LockedInDKA, so you can follow along there. And I appreciate you guys. Until next time.